Greetings, I am Live.
And I am Scandal.
And let's play a game together. Let's talk to Luke together. All right, everyone, talking to Luke. This whole group of people all comes in. Hi. Luke. Luke, whoa, it's a party up in here.
I didn't know.
Lily, where did all these people come from? Whoa.
Yeah.
Remember the ex Regina told you I chased off way back in the day?
Hi, yeah?
Well, that, with all of his broad shoulders and his long legs and such, was his linebacker build, that was him.
And his chin?
And his chin.
His
chin that could actually just, displace people from their homelands.
Which is what he did, being white.
Which is what we all did, so, it's an appropriate chin, I guess.
God.
The ex was Blaine. That was my ex. So if you were in any way on the same page as me and you were ever looking at me and thinking, you might be interested in me the way I've been thinking I'm interested in you, and we really haven't discussed ever in any way, then that, I guess, is what you would think with, in your masculine experience, you would need to contend with. Because for some reason, people get really intimidated by other people's exes and think they have to, compare themselves to something the person's already put down and moved on from.
Yeah, I've been there.
And it's really weird. Or maybe it's just, like I said, it's part of that whole masculine experience that's really unfortunate in, a lot of cultures, but it's fine.
I will say that I've had people who are not masculine who basically felt like that they needed to compare themselves and do shit like that. So
I need to be better than your ex.
Thanks.
Actually, one of my good friends has had this experience himself. I mean, and this is part of his masculine experience, and he admits it, he feels like he needs to be better than all the exes they've had. Otherwise, if he's not better than those relationships in all the areas that he finds important, and hopefully areas that they find important, then he's not going to be a better relationship in those relationships.
Yeah, pretty much.
And I appreciate conceptually where that comes from, but skill isn't everything. Where he's like, if I don't do this thing better than them, and I'm like, what you need to do better than them is emotional connection and making the person feel comfortable and cared for, really? Or you add to them in a way that they like. Those words not being specific to what they need.
Comprehension, communication, and understanding.
Somewhere
and patience, usually, too.
And so if they feel connected to you and supported by you in a way that works for them, it doesn't matter what your skill set is.
Yeah,
I've often been very irritated at people that go, sexual skill set is super important. And I'm like, yeah?
You can
Sexual
always
having fun is very important.
Yes.
What
are your priorities? Apparently not the same as yours. Hooray.
And I don't care what your technical skill is if I don't find you arousing, so... All right, anyway. Hi. Beautiful technical execution. The Olympics looked amazing. Their performance was so good. Stuck the landing. It's really boring to watch, so I have no emotional investment. But yes, technically beautiful.
Technically amazing. Astounding.
I'm just like, yeah, I need emotional
10 out of
investment.
10.
I require it. So it was Blaine.
Jeez, he's not what I imagined.
You imagined my ex?
Yeah.
Why were you imagining my ex?
Thought he'd be hot.
I assumed you'd date someone really hot.
Because, it's just how that sort of shit works out. You just kind of go, damn, they're going to be super spicy or something.
They're going to just be amazing. And
what an enchilada.
You're going to have been dating, Brad Pitt from the 90s because everybody was freaking out over him.
Oh my God. If you know anything about the 90s at all, I have to tell you.
Richard Gere from the 90s.
Oh God. Yeah, right?
Sorry.
It is not what I imagined.
Me either. Anyway, he came here with some kind of scheme to get me to sell the place after I inherited and sort of romance it out from under me. Is there a movie or a book or something about that? I think there might be, but,
Aha! Kind of putting the cart before the horse there, isn't he?
Trying to get me to sell it before it's finished? I mean, maybe?
Yeah.
I mean, this is funny? I mean, why are you laughing? That's what I said. Wait, that's what you said?
No, you did not say that.
We literally did not. And if there's a way to interpret something in a synonym kind of way of what she said of meaning the cart before the horse, I don't think she ever did say anything like that for me.
I also don't think that she ever said anything like, I don't even have the property yet kind of thing. It was just literally I'm not going to do this, you can't make me do. I never saw anything of even in relation to that particular idea that she discussed with Blaine.
Yeah, exactly. Meaning even something similar or with different wording, I never heard her mention anything. Are you talking about that wine night that we didn't get to hear what was going on? Because honestly, the whole thing with Regina worked really well, where they're like, here's what we're going to talk about, and then it's clearly been talked about. Yeah. Because we, the reader, already knew what was going on. But if we're going to be like, yeah, she exposited a bunch of crap to Blaine that you don't know about and were never connected to, and now we can just assume that Blaine at all times knows anything and everything because we can just shove it into that night that was off screen. I'm also still like, what was that night like? Because you seemed super weird about it in the morning.
Yeah, no kidding.
Anyway, that's what I said, but I figured him out. I sent him packing. Hopefully he never comes back. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. So, when he came back and I didn't know what he was doing, I said kind of putting the cart before the horse, and then I figured him out, and then I sent him packing? How does that follow?
I don't know.
Because that's what she just said, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm lost.
It's fine.
Alright, it's fine. I sent him packing. Hopefully he never comes back. Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
You don't mind me saying, it seems like you're kind of sad about it.
We were engaged for 5 years.
Maybe he doesn't know that.
No, I was gonna say, and you probably don't know that, but maybe it's complicated? I assume you know nothing about complicated exes with your current situation at all.
No.
And would have no sympathy for my experience at all.
I know what you mean. You want any help here?
Okay, so what I do want to bring up really quick is actually I have seen a phenomenon in my adult age and knowing adults that are older than me, and it's been like mostly in my mom's generation kind of thing, where there's a lot of people that are getting divorces or have just gotten out of relationships that were very intense, and then they bond over their shared experience of losing someone you care about that was nonetheless not good for you.
Right.
And so the thing they have in common is their attachment experience and detachment experience / grief and escape combined in reference to their ex.
Right.
And so it's like, that's the thing they connect over. We have so much in common. Our experiences with our exes are the same.
Yeah,
And
no,
like,
I've had
that's
some people.
Not a lot to build a relationship on.
No, it's really not. And you hope that people move on from that, but sometimes what you discover is they don't. Because they remain in basically what's called the honeymoon phase for a little while, and then once they get out of the honeymoon phase, we're suddenly right back into let's go get a divorce or let's not be together because
we have
you
nothing
guys,
in common.
Yeah, because you guys didn't try moving on to doing something else or try to establish and make that honeymoon phase extend longer or basically figure out what connected you in the first place and then move on from there.
I'll say, I'm not sure you're using honeymoon phase in the way I'm familiar with it, but that's okay.
That's okay.
I'll say, but I'm just, definitely thinking
I'm using it in two different ways because there is the literal honeymoon phase, but I mean then like after that, then going on from your honeymoon phase. And sometimes people try to extend it because they understand what's going on. And so they learn what the honeymoon phase looks like for them. And then other people just go, we got out of the honeymoon phase. What happened? Like this part of our relationship that we started out where it was like, we're really excited and really horny and really into each other, but we don't know why.
And everything was perfect and we just always got along and there was never arguments. We never argued at all. It was great. And then suddenly we're arguing about everything. Well, because you're suddenly actually doing real world tasks, having to make choices about them, and you have very little in common and very little shared ground and communication about it.
Does that make more sense?
That does make more sense.
Okay, sorry.
So,
like I said, I was using it, I realized even as I was saying it that I was using it in two different ways, but for me I thought it kind of worked, so I sort of persisted with it. So
it's okay. So for me, the honeymoon phase of the relationship is where you basically go, everything's so good and feels so great, and you have it's usually completely unexamined as to why.
Yes.
And it just goes well because.
Yes.
All right. Well, if the water wheel's metal because it's rusted, I guess it's wood and metal. Maybe the two of you should be working out together.
Yeah, no kidding.
Actually, I want to get that water wheel going again. Can you take a look at it and all the giant-ass gears inside the building?
Right.
And all of that engineering stuff? Because, we're going to call you incompetent and disorganized and smelly a lot, but we know you actually can do incredible amounts of engineering things.
Which is wild, by the way.
Really valuable, and you could probably be getting paid a lot somewhere to do stuff that you probably don't want to do anymore because you'd rather be doing art and feeling free, which is fine and good and valid. But did you major in engineering, or is this more like a hobby for you? Or anyway, take a look at that wheel.
You got it.
Thanks.
Sure.
I'm just gonna have a free engineer come do metal work for me. It's great.
Yes.
Repair water wheel. I feel like they should be working together. Like, I would love to see Luke and Regina work together on this, where she helps with the wood stuff and he does the metalworking stuff and they plan it together. Because it'd be really cool to see your friends becoming friends.
Right.
Because I have to say, as someone who tends to be an introvert and does a lot of one-on-one stuff, that it can sometimes be very weird for my friends to try and get to know each other or get along with each other. Because the thing where they all connect with me, but none of them connect with each other, because they're all pretty distinctively different people, despite those characteristics that I really like, and that bond us to each other directly. It's very, very weird sometimes when we try and do groups. And I had one person point out who was trying really hard to be my friend at one point, and also weirdly date me, I guess, be like, it's so weird. It's like when everyone hangs out, they're all just hanging out for you, because they're hanging out with you and not with each other. And I'm like, That sounds right, because they're not friends.
And it also literally, to me, so I was there when this happened, and I literally just wanted to be like, and also you're doing the same damn thing.
You're only here because of her.
You are only here because of lies, my friend.
Yeah.
Like, you do not want to talk to me or the other person who's actually here that you're complaining about just being here for lies. Like, really?
Yeah.
Like,
anyway,
the irony was strong.
So I would say it'd be really cool, since I don't know a whole lot about friend groups and have tried to learn and been relatively unsuccessful about it in my lifetime, that to see a friend group forming where your friends talk to and work with each other.
Yes, absolutely. Especially in this case, because Regina doesn't seem to like Luke very much, which I can understand. She doesn't have to like him.
Except for she also goes back and forth about it between, I'm randomly going to ship you guys, and then I'm just going to dunk on him. Then I'm randomly going to say he's pretty cool. Then I'm just going to be like, all men are bad.
I mean, she started with dunking. She started with dunking and
then she started weirdly yo-yoing for no reason.
Yeah, which bugs the heck out of me. Just give me a minute to check out the mechanism here. No, yeah, I think we can get this working.
My dude, I don't think the mechanism is on the outside. I think that's literally just a pivot point, just a gear. Like, that's literally all that is. That just looks like a support for your
the wheel
your
itself.
axle.
Yeah.
Like, just looks like an axle support that it can rotate in. Your mechanism should be inside the mill house, like in all ways.
Yeah.
Let alone, it was demonstrated to have a giant-ass axle in there, and, you know, mechanism, if you will. So, the way you can repair this from out here, I'm good job.
Yeah, I do, right?
Speaking of, how'd it go with the Roadster? I'm trying not to hit horse spots. Sore spots.
Yeah, whole thing's too much work to try to repair and sell. Salvage Yard bought it off me as is.
After you paid to do all the repairs that you did yourself and all the painting you did yourself, and you're as competent with mechanics as far as I know as you are with engineering and all the other cool electrical stuff, and yet you couldn't tell based on the canon? That doesn't make sense. Or you were repairing it, and while you're good with electrical boxes and you're good with welding and you're good with machinery and you're good with engineering, you couldn't tell whether or not the car was in good shape at all, and it was essentially totaled, and you didn't find any of that out at all before you painted it? This doesn't sound like you. This sounds like a weird level of not organization. Of course, you don't have to be telling the truth, but you haven't shown yourself to, really fib at all.
Sigh. Who knows? Salvage Yard bought it off me as is.
Wait, really? You weren't getting it repaired for
what?
For your own purposes? I just thought, you and Rachel were trying again?
I was actually going to say, thank God you're finally just talking about it.
At least you just blurts it out. That's kind of nice.
No kidding, actually.
Like,
trying to get the car going? Nah, she thought it was a dumb idea. Real dumb. Except for the fact that, so we did have this conversation where Lily really was using very specific language that we both went, she wasn't there for that conversation. What the shit is going on? Like, it seemed so specific and so coincidental that we're like, correlation seems like causation, basically, in this point. Like, there's no way that Lily wasn't somehow there listening in on the conversation or something, which made literally no sense. The way they wrote that was so awkward.
I'm also having an experience here going, I thought you were trying to fix it up for her, trying again, and him going, nah, she thought it was a dumb idea. Trying to get the car going, and then nah, she thought it was a dumb idea, sound like two completely separate things. He was trying to get the car going. He was trying to do it for that reason, whether or not Lily knows, let's just shelve that.
Yeah.
And then he goes, nah, she thought it was a dumb idea. So you weren't trying anymore because she thought it was a dumb idea, but yes, you were trying previously. What are we talking about here?
Yeah, no, what are we talking about?
It's fine.
That man is thicker than molasses.
Now we're back to digging on him.
Yay, I'm so excited.
I know it. I'll just call him stupid again. Still, the good news...
The news is good.
The news is good?
That sounds terrible.
Wow, now that I confirmed that he's really dumb and super dense, and I agree with you absolutely that he can't take a clue if it hit him in the head. It's such good news because now it means I can try and date him. Does that sound appealing to anybody? Is this a trope that I'm missing in romance? If somebody out there in the heteronormative fandom is like, yes, that is my version of romance and I love that, or even if you're queer, that's fine too, because I'm not going to be exclusionary here, and just knows what that is about, I would love to hear it.
Yes.
Because I'm like, when does it come from? God, I just love finding out that he's so stupid he can't understand a thing I'm talking about, but it's a relief that he could still be available to me.
Yay!
I don't get himbo from him at all.
I don't either.
Which is a charming kind of unawareness rather than actually being stupid.
Yeah? I'm also
Anyway.
just like, this is frustrating overall anyway, because I don't like the language used in association with Luke and Lily to get, it bugs me. Never mind, it's fine. Okay, I think we're all set. We just gotta connect the water now. Ready?
Yeah, as long as the whole wheel's like free of rust and repaired and everything. Did you rebuild the whole thing? That's amazing. We're just gonna leave it rusted. Wow, you did. Holy crap, you rebuilt the entire thing. In that moment, you just brought over your welding tools.
Without Regina.
And you did all the woodwork and you cut all the panels on you do metalwork and woodwork and you repaired the mechanism inside and outside of the mill.
Yep.
Freaking amazing. Good job.
No kidding.
Ready? How come they keep painting him as incompetent over and over again? Well, I just can't cars, but everything else that would be relevant skills that clearly shows I know how to do work well with my hands, that I have good standards, and I know how to answer questions for myself. I have them, because figuring out engineering problems isn't just going, I'm able to solve this like MacGyver. It's also a level of knowing where to look for answers and get your own information. Like the people who are good engineers know how to look up schematics, know how to go, like every engineer that I've ever worked with, especially in repair and like mechanics, let's call the repair guy kind of thing.
Right.
Or, call your technician in, on a manufacturing floor kind of thing, or let's call maintenance, what have you. They really will go, yeah, so here's the schematic from the manufacturer. Here's the information or instructions from the manufacturer. Mm-hmm. I'm on the manufacturer's website learning about this machine, taking classes about this machine. It's not just walking up to machines and going, yep, you either know it or you don't.
Yeah.
And so it's like if he has all of that skill and knowledge, he's clearly able to answer questions for himself, do things competently, and he would be able to investigate the state of the car, and that just feels incongruous to me.
Yeah, well,
It feels weird.
They were already shitting on him all the time anyway. Why not? Let's just continue on doing that here.
So let's just connect some water.
Yay! Water connection!
Oh,
whee!
Our day's almost over.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, let's get that water going. Where's Regina?
Oh God, she's
just
missing.
Got swapped out for her
grandpa.
Her grandpa. Why?
What?
Where did Regina?
Oh, she's up. She's up.
Oh yeah,
oh,
she's up
thank
there.
God. Okay, cross your fingers, lady and gentlemen.
And so she's gonna pull this over here.
Probably.
I guess.
That's
and
all
get
I
the
got.
water chute working.
Whoa! It just did that automatically.
Okay.
There we go.
All right. So what's? Okay, so this area isn't actually river at all, and the water wheel's sort of sitting in a little basin with water being poured over it.
Yep.
That's interesting. Why not? Anyway, that looks really strange for a water wheel. Why not pour it on the near side of it and have it go the same direction as the water underneath it? I don't know.
I think it's a thing of engineering and mechanical recognition of how kinetic energy works and also what angles you need to be at.
Why do you want to keep paddling water back behind you that's going to slosh forward again and again though? And I'm talking about the base of the wheel where if your water's naturally flowing forward from there, which it does seem to be towards the bridge, then why would you continually want to kick it back into a non-water source, into the little sort of pseudo basin under the wheel itself?
Mm-hmm.
That just feels weird to me. Maybe I don't know enough about water wheels. Anyway,
there
we go.
Ah, lovely work.
Right? Doesn't the area look almost finished, except for this really grody sort of wall here?
No kidding.
Compared to everything else we've done? Whee! Watch it go! She's so excited. I love her childlike joy in so many things. I will say, in reference to positive things about this, I really like how charmed she is by things that are cute, things that are adorable, things that are lighthearted. All of this stuff of just going, there's just this sort of very, and I'm just going to say innocent glee. It's unadulterated glee.
Yeah.
It's not weighed down by any of the problems of the world. It's just going, yay! Water wheel!
Yeah, and her just being excited about life in general and being willing to just be like, hey, you know what? Gonna take the little things and celebrate them.
And I love that about her.
Yeah.
As much as there are things about her that frustrate the shit out of me, I love that piece.
Yes. How long you suppose that wheel's been stuck?
Oh, maybe since the 30s.
Maybe.
Oh, that's too long.
The metaphor.
Metaphor's back too
the meta wheel.
long. The wheel of four.
The wheel of four.
Hey.
Huh?
Nothing. I'm glad you came by today, and I'm glad you have such good woodworking skills. How did I not know about your woodworking skills? Instead of not paying Regina, who's a professional that I hired, that I'm building an ever-growing tab with, I could have used you, a neighbor who does it all for free.
Yay!
Why haven't I been doing that? And also, I could have been hanging out with you more, which means I maybe could have flirted with you more, which means I maybe could have connected to this relationship that I seem to want more. Oh, God! My priorities are all over the place.
No kidding. Me too. I'm always happy after I come by.
Oh, that's a line, isn't it? Suggesting that you're super invested in me as
So,
well.
okay, so there was one thing that I forgot to mention earlier that bugs me kind of about Luke, where it's like, you're making the assumption that Luke, wow, he's dumber, he's thicker than molasses, and it's like, or he is deliberately choosing to not engage because you didn't ask him directly, and you're asking him in a really weird sideways fashion that he's like, I was told not to assume, so I'm not assuming. I'm giving you an idea of going, are we talking about the car? Well, if we're talking about the car, here's this thing. And then going, God, you're so stupid. Him going, no, I'm just not making assumptions about what you're talking about. I'm trying not to anyway. And where I am making assumptions, you're then calling me a goddamn idiot for it, and that's unfair.
I see, and there's also
He's trying to be polite.
even another other way to take that, such as, or there's a couple of ways to take that. One of them, he's just engaging his own process. He's not thinking about Lily's investment. Or two, he's literally going, I don't want to talk about this drama.
Yes.
So I'm deliberately not engaging.
Yeah.
Sort of like the thing with, Leighton's Adventure kind of thing, where she's got her assistant hitting on her and she just continues to not acknowledge it.
Yes.
Like going, let me just redirect. It's being, it's more subtle than I would prefer sometimes, because sometimes after several redirections, you really should just tell someone I'm not interested.
Yes.
But at the same time, there can be a level of Luke going, I don't want to talk about my relationship, but instead of saying that, I'll just direct you to the information I'm willing to talk about. And that is a type of conversational social cue that people can use. And it doesn't mean that person's dumb of, oh, they didn't get the hints I've been dropping. It's like, no, they've totally picked every hint you've been dropping about everything. They're deliberately not engaging and trying to get you to go somewhere else, but in a polite fashion without calling you out and going, honey, just no.
Yeah, pretty much.
And that is also a possible convention, even though I don't think the game is using it.
All right, I'm always happy after I come by.
Let's tell the reader he's also interested.
No kidding.
You should come by more often then. I love free labor. Oh, that's really heartless on my part. It really, really is. But I'm just like...
That's what's happening.
There's a level of that.
Especially for a guy who's struggling with a divorce / a child on his own in his own life, and he's got his own bills to pay and everything else. Yeah, sure, we love free labor. It's totally understanding. Don't need to tell me twice.
I'm also fascinated with the choice they made with this waterfall here of having the still sort of reflected light in it that would happen on the surface of water that's been that's gently shifting and going, I don't know if waterfalls can have that light experience, that sort of spider webby experience underneath it. Or, kind of almost like water scales.
Looks a little weird.
It's very pretty functionally, but it doesn't make any sense.
It's also completely inaccurate, so that's fine. Don't need to tell me twice.
I might anyway, just in case it...
come on!
Let me call you stupid and you'll find it endearing.
Yeah, pretty much.
Is there anyone out there that finds it really endearing when somebody that's trying to, establish a relationship with them or flirt with them or hit on them calls them dumb?
Yeah.
Like, when they, are like, yeah, through your thick skull, which I mean that because I've established many times that I think you're dumb as a box of rocks. Just in case it doesn't get through your thick head the first time, I'll say affectionately.
In many ancient cultures, a thick head was a sign of strength.
Thank you for that, Grandpa. Come on in.
I guess.
Not now, Mr. Jones. This is actually an insult. Let me confirm that I was insulting him. It's okay.
It's fine.
It really is. She's really reasserting that, no, you could take it positive, but it really was meant to be an insult. An endearing insult of how stupid I think he is. This is just my experience with this game. Okay,
All right,
on that very charming and encouraging note...
We're going to start a new day in the next one! So thank you very much, guys, then, for joining us. If you like what we do, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And please also feel free to share our videos if you think that somebody would have a good time with us.
Yep.
Because that is what we're here for. Other than that, if you'd like to support us more directly, please feel free to go check out our Ko-Fi and our Patreon. I've got some links in the description down below. And then I have been Scandal.
Yeah, and we do appreciate you being here. And it's really nice to have you. And in the meantime, I have been Liz.
And it was great playing with you. Bye!